Championship. He's going to go for goal. It took a big deflection off the crossbar. Zach Bose is going around the entire team. He's pulled the trigger.
Second leg will be in about 20 days. In 20 days, so many things can change. We look forward for the second leg that one goal there could be a double goal.
With 2 wins that game, we know how we want to play there at home. We've been building each game at home. We'll feel strong.
One more spot awaits a team in the TELUS Canadian Championship semi-final, and who will it be? Pacific FC with their stingy defense, or yet to lose Atlético Ottawa with their killer offense? After a goalless draw in leg 1, something has to give tonight inside Starlight Stadium. The quest for the Voyageurs Cup continues on One Soccer. It is Matchday Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside our One Soccer studio. Andy Petrillo, Garrett Wheeler, Jordan Wilson with you. This is it, leg 2, final quarterfinal game, by the way, in the TELUS Canadian Championship. 3 teams have already booked their ticket to the semi-final. Who will join them here tonight? Pacific or Ottawa? So we know Toronto FC will be there, Vancouver Whitecaps will be there, and the big win, Forge FC over CF Montreal, they will be there. Heading into the semifinal, there is a redraw that's coming up live later on in the night right inside of our studio. We're excited for that. But first, let's talk about these 2 teams. Atlético Ottawa, undefeated. And they're also coming off a big win over the weekend as well. Wheels 3-0 over Forge, no less. But what's made them so good, considering last year, not so good?
Yeah, even spin it back 2 years ago when they won the regular season in the Canadian Premier League as champions, they were a completely different team. Oftentimes they play 3 at the back, 5 at the back, wouldn't have that bite, that extra punch in attack. A lot of heavy lifting for players like Bassett and Balou Tabla that season. Now they just come at you in waves. They're so much more aggressive. Del Campo, how he has stepped up and he's able to play a little bit more direct in behind the back line. Andy, this team is younger. I think they address the need for more legs, more energy, different ways to break down the team. And right now, their midfield is the best in the Canadian Premier League. And you speak about their attack, 13 goals in the Canadian Premier League, 4 conceded. The only team in the CPL that's conceded fewer is Pacific. So both ways they're doing the job. I'm just so impressed about the way that this club knew that they needed changes, Jordan, and did so, landing some big targets, and they've amalgamated them just like that.
All offseason, we talked about Atlético Ottawa, if they can get a striker. So it helps Del Campo scoring 5 goals in 5 appearances and the way that he's playing. But for me, in simpler terms, you build your team off your spine. You have Singh, hasn't missed a match. You have Amir Didic, hasn't missed a match. You get an Aparicio in your squad, a Sissoko as well. That is your spine, Wheels. That's where they're building from. 13 goals for, 4 against. That's where you know a team is just really pulling on both ends.
And they're deep. They're able to rotate. And it seems like a different player stepping up in a different way every game.
Well, Atlético Ottawa will be looking to punch their ticket to the semifinal in the Can Champ for the first time. Pacific, they've been there, done that multiple times, in fact. But here's the thing, in that first leg, they parked the bus, Jordan. They really did. Even James Merriman came out and said, nah, it was okay, we'll get the job done at home. But here's the thing, I mean, with Atlético Ottawa being away, with Atlético Ottawa being able to score goals, do you almost think it's an advantage for them? Like, what kind of situation is Pacific in here?
Yeah, I think the advantage stands because the 6 goals that Pacific have scored in the 7 matches, 2 of them being own goals, 2 of them being pens, they're not firing on all cylinders up top. So if Atlético come out and do score, this is an uphill battle for Pacific to get 2. Also, when you look deep into the squad, the last 2 matches is when they've given up their 3 goals, right? Just recently losing to Vancouver FC 2-1, and they were winning 1-0. So this is a vulnerable time for Pacific to try to get that win. But you could also look at it on the flip side. You're at home.
Yep.
You're playing a team. This is comfortable. You've been in the Can Champs quarterfinals before, and you know what it takes to go out and win tonight. So if they can get together, if their attack can really show up in big moments, there's something in it for them.
I think they're in a good place, though, tonight, specifically for this competition. I went beep, 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 because they didn't just park the bus, they backed it up.
Backed it up?
It was a goalless draw. It was a miserable watch, if we're going to be fair. But this was by design for Pacific. No need to take a risk, go and get the away goal. They trust, James Merriman and company trust, that they can win in their home stadium at Starlight. And with Ottawa, it's been a little bit more complicated because they were on the West Coast for 2, went back and played last weekend against Forge, then fly all the way back to Victoria for a midweek fixture. So I think they're in a good place. What do they say? Good defensive sides win championships. They're going to be a tough team to break down here tonight.
Yeah, it's been some crazy travel for Atlético Ottawa, that's for sure. And when you take a look at Pacific's home record, they've only lost once this year. That was at the hands of Ottawa, though, on May 17th. 1-0 was the final there. As we take a look at Pacific's starting 11, worth noting, Ali Endom, a defender, he is out for the year with a ruptured Achilles. So you can see the Colombian player there, Juan Quintana, will be in that position. And this is a team who will be looking for goals. Joining us now, James Merriman, head coach of Pacific FC. A win is what you need here tonight, James, and a lot of times that comes with a goal. And with those being hard to come by lately for your team, just what are some of the adjustments that you've made offensively to try and get that goal?
Biggest thing we speak about offensively is just to attack and be decisive when we go forward. It doesn't need to be perfect. I think at times we take the extra touch when it's not needed. We try to make the extra pass, tight combinations around the goal. We need to be a little bit more ruthless in those areas, especially in the final third. We can be more direct. We can go to goal, take chances, take half chances. We have the players that can do it. It's more about letting themselves go, and enjoying that part of the game.
Leg 1 was a cagey game, obviously, as we all know, a goalless draw. What are you anticipating for tonight? What do you think the identity of tonight's game is going to be all about?
It's tough to say. I mean, we need to attack the game. That's our plan. We know we need to win to advance. It's cup competition. It's tournament football. Anyways, we want to win to move forward. We have our match plan is clear how we want to approach the first half. We want to try to win the first half and we attack the second half, but we take the game in 2 parts and focus on the first 45 minutes.
Best of luck. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you, guys.
Let's talk goals a little bit here when it comes to Pacific and some of the players that might be dependent on to do that. How about Saloof?
Well, you heard it there from the handsome man from Nanaimo, James Merriman.
Great hair.
He said, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, but he said 2 words, decisive and ruthless. That's what they need to be up front. If you're looking at the squad, Eamon Saloof, for me, is the most talented attacker that Pacific have. Last year scored 7 goals, had 9 assists, and I think he underachieved in many ways, dare I say it. But tonight he's playing like a false 9 role, kind of like a 10. You probably won't see him track back a bit, but you know what everyone will forgive? If he scores 2 goals or sets up 1 and scores 1 himself. This guy is pivotal for their attack. He's the one that can get things going. It's not Moore, it's not Hurd, you know what to expect. He's the one that has that magic dust.
But the positioning is what jumps off the page for me. This player predominantly plays off the left-hand side. Now he was licensed to come inside and create, and I think that this is matchup related. He's going to have a 39-year-old Zapateur chasing him all over the park. It's a game, and go where you want. Try to drag him out of positions. A young player with plenty of legs, plenty to offer going forward in attack against a 39-year-old with all kinds of veteran savvy. So that's going to be a key matchup to watch in this game, and that's perhaps the way that Merriman wants to unlock this Atlético Ottawa side.
Yeah, Zapateur has not looked out of place whatsoever on that field for Atlético Ottawa. What about Thomas Meyer-Giguère?
I mean, I just don't think that Pacific can go and attack too much. I think that they need to stay well organized tonight because the players in this Atlético Ottawa side are fantastic. Thomas Meyer-Giguère, the 26-year-old, has played every minute of the season this year with Amir Didic going to Atlético Ottawa. Looked like a blossoming partnership with Ali Endom, who's now out for the season, which is a significant blow. He loses his partner at the back. But this guy's been outstanding out of the gate. You were just wondering what was going to happen to that back 4, back 5 when Didic left, and he's really steadied the ship and provided some really good leadership as well.
Yeah, you're so right, Wheels. He's picked up that leadership role. He's been vocal. He's lost his partner in Endom, which I thought they were probably the best center-back pairing this season.
Agreed.
But then also having Cedric Toussaint, that's been the bully and protecting in front of him, not having him tonight will be huge. But this is where leaders step up and become heroes.
All right, well, let's take a look at Atlético Ottawa starting 11 right now, because this is the team that's undefeated. This is the team that leads the league in goals scored as well. And they're starting to get some healthy bodies back. Nathan Ingham is back from injury, but Yesley stays in net. And, I mean, it's Ruben Del Campo. Gentlemen, that's the guy you're looking at here. 5 goals already this season in league competition. Last year in 16 games, 0 goals. Atlético Ottawa head coach Carlos Gonzalez joining us now. And you know, Carlos, a lot has been going right for your team. You're coming off a big win as well in league play against Forge. Knowing this is an elimination game, though, do you change your approach in any way, or does it stay the same, status quo?
Well, I've already forgot the result of last weekend. You know, we're focusing in the championship. For us, it's a very special game. It's a very important game. And yes, we approach it as a game of 90 minutes. You know, today we have a final. It's true that we bring a result that is a 0-0 from the first leg. And what we have to try is take advantage of that and do a good game and maintain the momentum.
We know that it's a very busy stretch for you as well, with the amount of games, on average about 2 games a week as well. A little bit of rotation in your squad too. What's been the thinking even behind your starting 11 here tonight? I believe DeBrienne going in, Sissoko coming out. Just how are you trying to get fresh legs out there for this game?
Yeah, as you said, the schedule is a bit condensed, so we have to try to take advantage of all the players that we have in the roster. And yeah, today we decide that this is the best 11. You know, Sissoko played a lot last weekend, and maybe he needs a little bit of rest. Other players are good also, so yeah, only trying to put the best 11 for each game.
How has Yesley been for you in net? I mean, obviously, you're undefeated, but knowing that Nathan Ingham is back, you've decided to go with Yesley here tonight. Why is that?
Yeah, well, Nate has been out for a while, and Ryan is doing a good job. You know, we are very proud to have really good goalkeepers, 2 goalkeepers in a great level and 2 great goalkeepers. So at the end of the day, the decision is easy because both decisions are the right one.
Appreciate taking the time, Carlos. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you, Andy. Goodbye.
We love talking goal scorers. Let's talk Ruben Del Campo, who's leading the Golden Boot race right now, and pretty much Wheels seems unstoppable.
I thought you were a bigger fan of goalkeepers.
She is.
I thought that was.
And she's trying this goal score mess. I'm not buying it, but go ahead.
Ruben Del Campo, ruthless Del can't stop scoring. Whoa. This guy has scored 5 goals in 5 consecutive Canadian Premier League games. Ruben Peppel, the only other player that's gone on to do that in the CPL. Beyond that, he scored 2 goals in the Can Champ 7-0 victory over Valor as well. 7 goals in 9 games in all competitions for Del Campo. This is a player last season, the Swiss native, came to the Canadian Premier League. Nothing came easy. Played 16 games. Do you know how many goals he scored? A big fat 0.
Zilch.
Nothing. He actually only played 90 minutes once. He only had 6 starts in those 16 games, yet now you just can't take him out of the team. He's been the one of, if not the best player for me in the Canadian Premier League, just what the doctor had ordered, because Sammy Salter plays a different way. He more comes to the ball, he checks, but this team, the way that Aparicio and Bassett and Tabla want to go, you need players that play vertical. They get in behind. He has pace to finish the match. Just a real feel-good story this season.
He's a feel-good story with Atlético Ottawa and scoring goals, but on the flip side, they're not too shabby defensively either, and a big guy on that line is Amir Didic.
Wheels and I talk all the time. I call him all the time. We speak all the time.
Oh,
we talked a lot about Atlético Ottawa.
Jealous?
Missing Espejo and missing Acosta. I did not think come into the season that they would be solidified in the back, even with Amir Didic. He has come in and been that guy. He's also an Iron Man, hasn't missed a game, hasn't missed a minute so far this season. He's been crucial to them stepping up. But he also talked about believing in this project. You know what believing in this project means? Going to a semifinal or final in the Can Champs. Also winning hardware. They're on the road to do that, but they have to get past Pacific tonight, his former club, to kind of go with what he's been going with.
Well, if it's a slugfest like it was in the first leg, the chances will be few and far between, but do you know where you can get them? Set pieces. And no one's better on set pieces, more dangerous in aerial battles than Amir Dedic. So I think he has a profound role to play here tonight.
Yeah, it will. We need to see a different game, guys. I'm sorry.
We
from
will.
leg one.
We will. I
mean,
know you're looking scarred, but we will.
When I spoke to James Merriman and I said, I'm like, it was a cagey affair in that first one.
That's one word for it.
That was what exactly. I was trying to be nice. I want to see some goals here. We want to see some action here. But in either way, we have to, because this is an elimination game. This is a deciding game. Who moves on to the semifinal? And as we said, live in our studio at halftime, we will have the semi-final draw. And this is what's crazy. We already know we're gonna have 2 MLS clubs, and we know we're gonna have 2 CPL clubs. What if the 2 CPL clubs get drawn against each other in the 2 MLS clubs? That means a CPL team is guaranteed in the final. I'm getting ahead of myself. But either way, we are gonna talk about CPL and MLS in the Canadian Championship next.
Toyota's electrified vehicles are for everyone. Every chauffeur, snack connoisseur, every scenery soaker, practical joker, every road tripper, toe dipper, every 9-to-5er, every long driver. Starting over 20 years ago with the Prius, we now have the largest lineup of electrified vehicles in Canada, because this journey belongs to everyone.
Life's better with extra space. Space for family. Space for memories. Space for you. Try 4 weeks free. Sentinel Storage, proud partner of Canada Soccer.
To play. It's something that's in us from the very beginning, and something we take with us on every step of the journey. When we have no words, it gives us a way to speak. When we are still finding our way in the world, it gives us somewhere to belong. And no matter who we are or where we come from, it gives us the right to dream.
Christine Sinclair, as she scores at her 5th World Cup. Alfonso Davies!
It's time to celebrate the game we love. It's time to play.
Almost. It's a And then came 2024, when on back-to-back nights in May, a league less than 6 years old saw 2 of its very best teams go away from home and defeat clubs from MLS.
Full time at BC Place. It's Vancouver 0, Cavalry 1. Forge of Hamilton have finally got the better of CF Montreal.
Teams
It was a great week last week for CPL teams against MLS sides in the Canadian Championship. But bigger picture, we want to see perhaps a CPL team win the Canadian Championship for the first time. Could that be this year? What kind of matchups are you expecting to see here in the semifinal, or what would you like to see, Wheels?
Well, we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
The draw at halftime. What would I prefer to see? I think if you're a Canadian Premier League club, you want to play an MLS side in the semifinal because you get 2 shots at them. I think it's more likely that you can pull off an upset potentially in one leg, but you want to have that home date against an MLS team, them coming into your own stadium so your own fans can enjoy that experience. I think that that's so important for this competition, for fans to go out and have that experience. I have one small caveat.
Let's hear it.
And I think it maybe goes along with playing an MLS club, but I love these local potential derbies.
Yeah.
Because traveling supporters just make, it's one thing that I miss about this country is that it's so big and oftentimes your supporters can't travel to really have a loud and engaged away end. You can make the argument, Atlético Ottawa, Toronto, Forge Toronto, Forge Atlético Ottawa, they're all within a relative like traveling distance to make it a reality. Same thing, Pacific Vancouver Whitecaps. Nice little derby there and add Vancouver FC into the equation. I think that any time that you can have those games where local supporters can travel, it makes it even better.
I agree with that. Obviously, the local supporters want to see their team play. I think seeing 2 CPL teams, I don't want to see it. If it happens, cool, and you know one's going to a final. I don't want to see it in the semis. I want to see them take a shot at an MLS club for 2 legs. Also, just a home environment. If you're Forge, you have the Bellows driving to BMO Field, or you have them at Tim Hortons Field. That's what I want to see. I want to see 2 shots, the strategy that goes into away goals, see if the CPL teams are ready. We just watched about almost. I look at the 3 clubs that could potentially be there. I think they're all equipped to go and take a.
The worst scenario would be the CPL team that loses to another CPL team if they're matched up in the semifinal. That'd be the worst.
Yeah, I'm okay with the easy path, and if 2 CPL teams
get to the final, I like it.
Yeah, and if that's guaranteed in the final, you're guaranteed in the final. What do you want?
Easy path.
I'm okay with that. I am okay with the easy path.
That's how football works.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's how Andy works.
Would you like the extended warranty for $150?
Go ad-free for $29.99.
Only 3 easy payments of $49.99 if you act now.
We make thousands of financial decisions every day. Each one affects bigger decisions tomorrow. Stay on top of it all with the CIBC Smart Account.
Do we really have any choice at all? Everyone has a choice, and every choice has a consequence.
Which do you choose?
Life's full of tough choices, isn't it?
How do you choose?
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
I do this for my town, my time, my time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
How do you go from the best to the ultimate without breaking the bank? You choose the big, bold, ultimate taste of Ultimate Chicken Sausages and Hot Dogs. Choose ultimate taste and value, only from Maple Lodge Farms.
TELUS Canadian Championship continues right here on One Soccer. It is the final game between Pacific and Atlético Ottawa, who will be moving on to the semi-final. And you have Pacific, who lately maybe the defense hasn't been as strong, but they are still the best team defensively in the CPL. The problem is they're looking for goals, gentlemen. They have 1 goal in their last 4. On the flip side, Atlético Ottawa, undefeated, can't stop scoring goals. But when they faced each other in leg 1, 0-0, both teams, well, I would say Ottawa tried hard, but Pacific definitely parked the bus. So what are you expecting here?
Pacific have to score first in this one because I worry if Atlético Ottawa puts one into the back of the net first, get the away goal, forces Pacific to go and get 2. That'll be a difficult task here. But look, this Pacific team once upon a time was known for their attacking prowess more so than anything else. Let's see if Salouf and Hurd, 2 players that have been really good in the past. Rayon Moore's been suspended, by the way. He's going to lead the line today. There is an attacking punch, and I think they're going to feel much more comfortable attacking at home.
Pacific FC, I don't expect them to park the bus, but that defensive-minded grittiness is a part of their DNA, so they're going to start from there. But Wheels is right. They got to score first. If Atlético Ottawa do uphill battle, I don't see a world where Pacific is scoring 2 goals. So this start of the match is crucial for that side.
Yeah, and any world where this game ends in a draw where goals are scored, it's Atlético Ottawa going through. If it's goalless, we're going to PK. So Pacific is in a position here where they need to win. This is it. This is the final matchup here in the quarterfinals of the Can Champ. Only one team will be moving on to the semifinal to join the other 3 who are there. Starlight Stadium in Langley, BC is where we're heading next for kickoff right here on One Soccer.
The TELUS Canadian Championship on One Soccer is brought to you by Toyota.
Toyota's electrified vehicles are for everyone. Every chauffeur, snack connoisseur, every scenery soaker, practical joker, every road tripper, toe dipper, every 9-to-5er, every long driver. Starting over 20 years ago with the Prius, we now have the largest lineup of electrified vehicles in Canada because this journey belongs to everyone.
The TELUS Canadian Championship on One Soccer is brought to you by CIBC.
CanadaSoccerStore.com is the official home for the widest range of Canada Soccer licensed product, match jerseys, and fanwear.
From the edge of your seat or up on your feet, let them hear you cheer.
The TELUS Canadian Championship on One Soccer is brought to you by Allstate.
From the southern tip of Vancouver Island, this is Starlight Stadium, where tonight the 4th and final TELUS Canadian Championship semi-finalist will be discovered. With the draw for the semi-final round coming up at halftime, Atlético Ottawa and Pacific will know their fate if someone tunes in to the One Soccer broadcast. But they know that they just have to take care of themselves tonight, and it's going to be absolutely all to play for. Atlético Ottawa with a slight upper hand after a 0-0 draw. Away goals could be important tonight as these sides meet for a 3rd time this month. We'll be right back with starting 11s and team news from Starlight Stadium.
Now, fans, please rise if you're able. Remove your hats for the national anthem of Canada.
Et maintenant, vous levez pour l'hymne national du Canada.
Minutes away from kickoff in the final quarterfinal, the 2024 TELUS Canadian Championship